Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and today we're doing a review on the Sonic Movie 2 Giant Eggman Robot playset. Now this thing is supposed to also coincide with the Tornado playset, which I've already done a review on, so if you haven't seen that, you can click right here. And also next week, we're going to be doing a review on this multi-pack of the different costume Sonics. So if you want to make sure you don't miss out on that, make sure you sub for that. Now before I get into the review, I have to fair warn you that this toy is a spoiler. Thankfully on the box they don't show the spoiler, but inside there is a major spoiler for this. So if you want to avoid spoilers for the movie, come back at another time after you see the movie. But the spoiler toy in here is the main reason why a majority of people are going to be buying this thing. But now with that out of the way, let's look around the box. So on the front of the box, we get the giant Eggman robot all decked out in purple, which is not accurate to the movie, but that's okay. And then it kind of showcases the gimmick a little bit. So we're going to be having Sonic on this little seesaw bridge right here, and then these giant arms are supposed to slam down and try to mess up Sonic. And also we get this render of Sonic that some people seem to be mixed on. I like the way it looks personally. Got the movie logo up here, we got a little Sonic thing down here from the first movie, and then it says how it comes with an exclusive figure. But like I said, they try to keep this thing as secret as possible, thankfully, so you don't go into a store, see the spoiler in it, and then just get all upset about it. And on the top of the box, you also get the logo again. We get a little smaller version of that same decal we see in the front. On the back of the box, we get to see what the gimmick is kind of like and how the toy is supposed to be set up. So you get the bridge right here, you got his arms, he slams down, and then you're supposed to launch Sonic into the Eggman robot to try and knock him over. Now on the side, it's pretty much like the back of the box, but with smaller pictures. And the other side is just the same render of Sonic we see on other box merchandise like this. And then the bottom just has some legal mumbo jumbo. So let's open it up and take a look inside. So everything in the box, you get the bridge, you get the Eggman robot, and you get the little Supersonic minifigure. Now I want to go over Supersonic real quick because he's the main reason why a lot of people are buying this thing. This thing is weird. I don't like it. First up, it has green eyes. It's supposed to have red eyes, and a lot of people are upset about that. And also, something I didn't know going into this, here to help prevent paint transfer and damaging of the toys, they made Supersonic's head, hands, and feet all out of rubber, so it avoids damage. So, which is cool. Unfortunately, they made the quills a little too long compared to how it's supposed to be in the movie. It's like a normal Supersonic head, but with just details of spikes. In fact, it's supposed to have, what, 6 quills on his head? Or 7, actually? I can't remember. There's supposed to be one more quill in the center here, and it doesn't have that. Yeah. You have 7 quills on the back of this Sonic, but we only get 6 on the back of this one. This is like a standard Supersonic head. And again, like I said, the quills are not the right length. Compared to the movie, it's not the right shape. And because of it being rubbery and also the quills being too long, he is also top heavy. Now, if I were to plop down this Sonic after he's actually standing all right, not in a weird pose, he stands up just fine. Supersonic, on the other hand, you have to really balance him to make sure he doesn't fall over. But that's just Supersonic that already disappoints me on multiple levels. The rest of this toy is such a turd. I'm not gonna lie. So this thing is the Eggman robot. So let's just say it right now, he's not colored correctly. But keep in mind, okay, when this was being developed, this is when they were still working on just concept art that the movie studio sent to Jax and said, make toys of this. Obviously things have changed from the concept art to the final production, so that's why his eyes are probably green, and the fact that this is all purple. I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but even though it is disappointing to see all this, you do have to understand the circumstances that they were under. So it's not an excuse on we should forgive it. This is why it happened, pretty much. Now the main gimmick of this thing is there's going to be a couple of handles on each shoulder, which do tuck away, so when you're not playing with this thing, it does make a okay looking display. I have this thing on top of my bookcase, trying to look down menacingly, and it looks alright. And I'm pressing the button trying to get this handle up. It is not wanting to work with me. This thing sucks. There we go. Okay, so we have these two handles, so we use them to control the arms. This is kid powered, not battery powered. So the gimmick is that you gotta get this bridge sideways, have Sonic on this thing, and then you gotta be the bad guy and be like, die! And then try to mess him up. I wish the bridge could break, so you can actually try and destroy the village or whatever, destroy the town or whatever. Then, later, he's supposed to go Super Sonic, which I wish it would have came with Chaos Emeralds or a Master Emerald or something, whatever. And then, you're supposed to put him on the bridge and then launch him toward it and knock him over. Let me explain to you why this doesn't work. So, in order for you to get it at the proper angle, you gotta have it on this little angle for science to let it fly forward. Unfortunately, gravity. So we have these little pegs to try to keep him in place. At least they thought that would work. But science goes a little bit further than that. So let's just press the bridge and then we gotta launch it forward to knock him over. Because, okay, so if we're doing it by ourselves with the arms, obviously Super Sonic's not gonna be able to knock it over because you're already holding on to the handles. Okay, so let's ignore touching this robot, okay? And then just slam on the bridge to send it forward. It falls flat on its face on the bridge. Also, there is not enough leeway for this thing to actually give you enough force to not only take it off the peg, but launch it forward and knock this thing over. Why? Because the arms are absolute units. They're hollow, but they have much more mass compared to the rest of this thing. You want to know why it has more mass? Because this thing is absolutely empty on the back. It'd be one thing if they actually put like a little plate back here to make it not look as cheap. But no, this is worse than a McDonald's toy. It also is on a little hinge, so you can move this thing back and forth if you want to. Now, like, it has a decent paint job to it. Like, it has like a matte finish, but then you got this ugly splotch right here. I'm not sure if the camera's gonna be able to pick that up, but like, again, it looks half decent. You could say it almost looks 3D printed, but that's just being too mean. But anyway, since the arms have more mass than the rest of this thing's body, even if this thing does launch it, there is not enough mass to knock this thing over, okay? Since this toy was supposed to be marketed to go with the Tornado as well, we can bring this up and we can also give you a decent size comparison between the two. He's 14 inches wide and like 7 inches tall. This, I can't remember offhand. But there you go. Like, you got a decent size comparison. So, if you want to have enough force to properly take this thing down, you have to take Tails with the Tornado and kamikaze this thing, because like that alone might have enough force without you forcing it. Unless you want to be like, and just knock him over like that, then go ahead, I don't care. But I'm saying the main gimmick of this thing doesn't work. But here's the kicker. Here's the thing that upsets me the most about this toy. It's not just the fact that Super Sonic isn't accurate to the movie. That can disappoint a lot of people. And it's not the fact that this is also $30. Even if I would have spent $20 on this thing, I'd still be kind of disappointed. But it's the fact that for $10 more, the same toy company released this product a year prior, and this thing is much more of a fun toy compared to this thing. Now, this gimmick is here. You're gonna have a little classic Sonic and a little ball, okay? And a little catapult to send him to hit this button in the center 3 times. And then once you hit it 3 times, he falls apart. You don't even have to be a kid. As an adult, you can admire this thing as a toy. I was talking to a coworker about this thing, and he said he would have killed for something like this as a kid. If he was still a kid, he would die to have this. Which, with this toy, I haven't done a review on yet. So if you want me to do a review on this, I can. But it's going to be on the back burner, because I got some other reviews to do, and not enough free time with all the hobbies that I have. Now, the design for the Eggman robot from the movie has a beautiful design if you've seen the movie. In fact, I think it would make an excellent action figure. This thing is not fun putting back together. I'll fair warn you. But it's still worth it. This thing's still cool. Okay, now he's back to normal. Now we got the giant Eggman robot again, the Death Egg robot. Now, if we would get an action figure of the Eggman robot from the movie like this, then yeah, I'd recommend it. But I can see them not wanting to do this type of design again, just to try to be original. But if they thought this was a better option compared to just rehashing the same toy in a different sculpt and paint job, no, that was an awful idea. I'm not sure if I have to say anymore. This toy sucks. I do not recommend this thing whatsoever. Like, I can understand why the sculpting and paint job for Sonic wasn't accurate and the paint job wasn't accurate for this toy. But the fact that this was the design, that is inexcusable. That is horrible. If it were $20, it would make it a little bit better. A little bit better. But this thing is not worth picking up. Like, all you gotta do is just like cross your fingers and hope that they make a nice 4-inch Supersonic figure in the future once this movie's out on Blu-ray or something, so everybody who wants to see the movie has seen the movie. But it's so disappointing. So let me know in the comments, do you plan on getting this thing? If you do, that's completely fine. I'm not gonna judge you for picking this thing up anyway. But I'm telling you, from my experience with it, this thing sucks. It almost makes a half-decent display putting this up against the wall on top of my bookcase, because it doesn't take up too much space and it does look a little menacing. It does look a little cool. But I am not happy with the fact that I spent $30 on this turn. So if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. In the description is going to be my social media as well as a place where you can order this guy if you would like to. But like I said earlier in the video, if you want to see a review of this multi-pack of the 3 Sonics, I'll be doing that next week. So make sure you subscribe for that. And thank you for watching. I love you guys to death. And I'll see you on the next one. So peace.